Hello and welcome to our newest series, Facts About. Basically, so many channels try to bring you Easter eggs and facts about the movies and TV shows, and so few of them try to fill you in on the facts about the characters themselves from which these shows and movies originate from. So I'm going to be filling you in on some little-known facts about their comic book counterparts. Some of these you might know, some of these you might not. But everyone who enjoys our complete stories, origins, and Know Your Universe segments, don't worry. This is only going to be a new series that we kind of work in around all that other stuff, so it really won't affect our normal release schedule. So today, let's discuss the facts about Daredevil. Daredevil is a devout Catholic character, and one of the few openly religious characters in comics. This plays often in the very concept of the character, as you can see him in churches and on steeples often, and he does go to confession. The great thing about Daredevil is that it isn't overly done to the point where they're trying to sell you on the religion. It's handled in the manner of, Matt's a Catholic among other things. This is what the character's about. Daredevil actually inspired the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's pretty common knowledge at this point, but Kevin Eastman and Peter Liard created Mirage Studios with the goal of creating a comic book that would parody four popular Marvel comics from the 80s, namely The New Mutants, which featured teenage mutants, Cerberus, which featured an anthropomorphic animal, and Ronin and Daredevil, which was entirely about dueling ninja clans who fought over control of New York. They even linked the original origin of the Turtles to Daredevil by featuring the accident that gave Daredevil his powers. And the Turtles' original origin, the ooze that mutated them fell off of a truck, striking a young boy in the head and then landing in the sewer. It even goes deeper with them creating Splinter as the Turtles' trainer when Daredevil had Stick, and instead of having the hand, which Daredevil primarily fights, they have the foot against the Turtles. Daredevil's original yellow costume only lasted 6 issues before they changed it to red. The original costume also had a few other differences before we settled on our red one, such as only having one D on the chest, and in issues 3 and 4, there was actually a hood on the back of it to hold his street clothes, but it was eventually torn and removed from the costume. In the Daredevil Yellow miniseries, they went a little further into it by revealing exactly how he took the material from his father's boxing robe to make up the yellow costume, and outside of the Daredevil Yellow comic book, it only really came back when Matt was having an identity crisis. Daredevil is actually the second Daredevil. In the 1940s, a now defunct comic publisher called Leave Gleason Publications put out a comic book featuring a character named Daredevil. Instead of being blind, this Daredevil was oddly mute. He also fought Hitler before the US actually entered World War II, just like Captain America did before him. As a child, Bart Hill was actually rendered mute by the shock of seeing his father murdered and himself being branded with a hot iron. Orphaned, he grew up to become a boomerang marksman in honor of the boomerang-shaped scar left on his chest. Like Batman introduced a year earlier, he took up a costume to wage vigilante vengeance. Daredevil is actually a nice guy that was reinvented as a jerk. The anti-hero aspect of Daredevil's character that everyone seems to know and love is largely derived from the Frank Miller tenure of writing the title during the 1980s. Frank Miller famously made Batman a super dark character for DC with The Dark Knight Returns, which Batman needed after the 1960s Batman TV show. While Daredevil wasn't originally a super cheery happy person, he definitely went down some dark paths with the Frank Miller run, and this is the run that Netflix decided to focus the TV show on. Daredevil actually dated Black Widow. Now in the 1970s, Black Widow was Daredevil's girlfriend for a while. What's cool about this is the fact that it was never really publicly admitted during the time, because the Comics Code Authority at the time wouldn't allow characters to be obviously sleeping together. So Daredevil and Black Widow were basically just super chummy buddies. They even went as far as to have them sleep on separate floors in the same apartment building to keep up the charade. Lastly, let's discuss how his eyesight works, because, well, it doesn't. Every artist has his own way of interpreting how Daredevil's sonar-style vision is perceived, but I think a friend of mine might be able to explain this better. So take it away, Scott.
Yeah, Benny is right. There have been so many different interpretations of Daredevil's radar sense over the years by different artists and writers that it can be a little bit difficult to dissect. Luckily, I made a video over on my channel, NerdSync Productions, that dives into exactly how Daredevil can see. So come check it out.
You'll be able to find links to Scott's video and his channel in the description down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you want to see more fact videos, let us know who you want to know them about, because with the Avengers movie coming up, we have a lot of superheroes that you need to know the true facts about. I'm Benny for Comicstorian, and don't forget that we have a gaming channel known as Eligible Monster, where we bring you gaming variety videos 3 times every week. And you can also follow us on Twitter @Comicstorian, where we'll chat about just about anything with you. I'll see you guys next time, right here.